Target 16, geometric sequences, exponential functions. So now we're switching it from arithmetic to geometric, and this is repeated multiplication. So these are multiplication-based rules where we're using multiplication over and over again, and when we do that, the equations end up looking like this, of the form y equals a times b to the x. So your job here, obviously, is to figure out the equation for it. We've got these nice convenient tables set up. So the key to this strategy is doing our next divided by previous trick. So I know that this is further down my table, so I take my next number divided by the previous that was in the list, and in this case that would be 75 divided by 3. That only works though if those numbers are in order. This skipped a spot. So this is technically 2 moves. It takes 2 moves to get from -1 to 1, because there's 1 move, there's 2 moves. It's 2 moves to get that far. If it's 2 moves to get that far, you need to take the second root. So in this process, we need to take the square root of, that 2 out there is for a square root of 75 divided by 3, which of course is 25. Now what you could do then is you could just say, okay, I'm doing the square root, because it skipped 2 spots, of 75 divided by 3, and you've got that number, which is of course 25. Or you could do this 2 math 5, because that put the 2 up there, and then in parentheses you could do 75 divided by 3, and you're going to get 5 either way. So now we know the b value. The next divided by previous and taking the nth root is how we calculate the b value. That's what b is equal to. So our b value now is 5. That does not mean what it starts at. What it starts at is in the table across from the 0 value. We don't have anything there yet. So we know we're going to multiply by 5, and this would be 15. So our equation would be y equals 15, because that's what it starts at next to the 0, times 5 to the x. And that's the equation that we're going for there. On this one, it's convenient because those are actually next divided by previous and they're in order, so we don't have to do any square roots. I mean, it's literally as simple as just going 77.312, that's my next, divided by my previous, 96.64, my multiplier is 0.8. So this is times 0.8 every time. So if it's times 0.8 going this way, I divide back 2 spots to get there. So take 96.64 divided by 0.8, that's the first one, divided by 0.8 again, and the original number is 151. So the original number right here would be 151. My equation would be y equals 151 times 0.8 to the x. So the key to this strategy is taking next divided by previous, and if it skips, you have to count the moves. This was 2 moves, so I took the second root. If they're consecutive, you don't have to do that, and you can just use the number.